Yandere Simulator is a game I've followed for quite a long time now. I wouldn't say I was around since its inception, but I was there during its heyday around the 2016 era where every popular YouTuber was making a lot of content on it. And the more I delved into this, the more I decided this just wasn't a game that was ever going to be completed. To put this into perspective, there's a higher chance that Call of Duty would fix its botting and its hacking problem before Yandere Sim even gets released as a full game. There's a better chance that Rockstar Games will release Bully 2 before this game even has a patch that could be even constituted as a step forward. And with recent allegations against the developer, I see no future for the game as a whole. For those who want a brief last time on Dragon Ball Z speedrun of all this, I'll try to keep it brief in less than 2 minutes. Yandere Sim was originally an idea that was passed around on the old 4chan boards of video games. People came up with the concept of, hey, what if we took a game that's like Hitman, we set it in a high school like Bully, and we make it about yanderes and their senpais. The whole objective of the game is that you are to assassinate your rival without anyone figuring out it was you, especially your senpai, so that no one gets in the way between you and your beloved senpai. Now, this caught a lot of people's attention, and a lot of people originally got on board with the idea. Eventually, Alex, the developer, would set up a YouTube channel and even spearhead the project of the game as a whole. He would even set up video logs every now and then showing what new things he has added to the game or discovered about game development as a whole. It showed a lot of promise because Alex was at least keeping the community that was very passionate about this very informed on the things that he was doing and progressing and learning as he was making this game. But as time went on and more people got eyes glued onto this game because of the very popular YouTubers like Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Gloom, iHasCupcake, our favorite highlighter, so on and so forth. As more and more content creators made videos on this, the game became exponentially more popular, asking for a lot more demand and updates. And well, Alex the developer just wasn't ready for that kind of stress. Alex already didn't treat the community well enough, and anyone that tried to help, he quickly shut away. Alex even admitted that he would spend 9 to 12 hours a day doing emails, literally reading and reacting to emails that people were sending him. Some of them saying they'd work for free, some of them asking how he's doing, if there's any updates, so on and so forth, that these emails just kept coming. But the big problem was that he was spending this 9 to 12 hours on emails and not the actual game. There were even people who asked if they could come on as, volunteers to read through all these emails so he could solely focus on the game. But of course, this had to come in email form, and it distracted me even further. As time went on, more and more people saw that Alex really had a bad habit of taking the main focus away from the game and diverting it elsewhere in the world. Think of like a Yakuza game. That's what he's trying to make with this Yandere Simulator. Instead of focusing on the main path ahead of him, he's instead diverting off all these side branches for like mini quests, mini games, collectibles, the whole panty system, which is weird, but hey, it's anime. We'll let it slide. But as time went on, most people just saw that Alex was way too distracted, and doing this all by himself wasn't going to hinder any results. So eventually Alex would get help from programmers that would work for free, as well as a lot of good voice actors and actresses for the game. One in particular that I was aware of was Brittany Lotta. She was in Darling in the Franxx. She was also the Leviathan in Seven Mortal Sins, but you'd probably best know her for Audrey Bell Rose in the Honey Pop series, or Honey Pop, my bad. Because, well, Audrey is best girl, and if you don't remember her, shame on you. But she would play Osana Najimi, the rival of the Yandere in the simulator. Now, since these allegations came to light, a lot of people, including community members, have given up on Alex and this game. There is so many voice actors and actresses that have made public posts that after these allegations came out of him doing some very wrong doings, that Alex is not someone to work with, and that they just can't bring themselves to swallow it and work through it for the sake of the project. I hate to say it, but Alex does deserve everything that's happening to him because he is a deplorable human being. His degeneracy can be even tracked back all the way to 4chan days. But there is one thing that is happening in recent times that happened over a couple months ago where Alex was outed for having very inappropriate and sexually explicit conversations with children on Snapchat, Discord, and Twitter. Now, a lot of these they claimed were fake and just trying to ride the wave of attention they got off of Alex, but I wouldn't say that's the case because, honestly, it's Yandere Dev. It's not like it's Brad Pitt or anyone. He's a niche internet celebrity. I mean, calling him that is, praise in and of itself. But after this, everyone awaited to see if Alex would actually make some sort of validation or try to clear his name in some way. But the longer he sat silent, the more and more people left him, like the main voice actress for Yandere-chan, a voice actor that was a journalist in the game. They all left as soon as Alex just kind of hushed went into his little cave and didn't say a single thing to defend himself. But here we sit, not even a week into 2024, and Alex has come out with the first YouTube apology of this year. And I'm going to tell you, it was a dumpster fire. I put that in past tense because Alex has since then taken down the video because it was so bad. Throughout this entire 15 minutes, it was him basically recapping the entire situation, but not debunking any of the claims of wrongdoing here. The main claim that people had was that Alex was having inappropriate conversations with a minor, a 16-year-old girl who was a fan of his. And this is actually brought to light by a bunch of messages from Snapchat as well as Discord, and even her admitting on Twitter that she was the one who instigated this very risky behavior between her and Alex. Now, no matter what you say, the child here is not at fault. It is completely Alex's fault for not being the mature adult in this conversation to step away, block her, or just completely lose contact and ghost her. I know it sounds hurtful to do that, but you can't be having these kind of conversations with children in the first place. But Alex would just kind of go along with it, and he wouldn't admit to any wrongdoing, but say that he kind of just treated her as a friend, and this is how friends talk to each other. No, Alex, she's a fan of yours, and you are a indie video game developer. You clearly just had that little bit of power trip, and just took it a little too far. And from this, no one got an answer from Alex of why he acted the way he did. And throughout this entire video, he just kind of reverberates, everything that we already knew. And just confirms and confesses. He snitches on himself that he was involved in these conversations and never once tried to back out of them. The 16-year-old even came on Twitter to try and give an explanation of it all. And, well, this also disappeared from the internet. A little bit after Alex had originally uploaded the video, he said he'd leave a link to this thread that proved her side of the story, and poof, gone into thin air. Kinda odd that they're both gone within a day of each other. But luckily I screen capped it from some other YouTubers who were luckily able to catch it before it was gone. Shout out to Mudahar. Now, you don't need to know much about this other than the girl's name is Jane and how she originally started talking with Alex. And she says that he would respond very normally when she was about 9 years old and she first started emailing him. But as she became a sophomore into junior year of high school, she went to talk to Alex again after seeing a TikTok of him going, "Yath, queen," and just saying that I feel dated, old, and I kind of want to cry down and cringe. But she went and messaged him and even admits she was the one to begin the spicy conversations. Again, Alex should have been mature enough, and the adult in this conversation, to distance himself from that. Because what we've seen with the Minecraft community, the Roblox community, is that if you give them an inch, there's more that will happen in a mile. We've seen too many people who have these child audiences that take advantage of their naivety, their childhood. I can't really think of words, I'm sorry, but you get the point. They take that naive nature of them and that gullible nature of them, and they kind of power trip off of it. We've seen it in the Minecraft community where many of them come out as kitty diddlers or pedophiles. We've seen some even get explicit content and even send explicit content to these children, and it's the more that you go on with these conversations, the more you disassociate from what's right and what's wrong. But as this goes on, she kind of has a weird turn where she attacks the YouTuber who got these recorded conversations. She asked that the girl, Jane, in this conversation, would record this, and Allie would then have proof that there is no line that Yandere Dev won't cross. And listening to these conversations, there's nothing you can really take out of context. There is still a child talking about Yandere Dev's penis size, as well as them discussing what he would post on an OnlyFans if he was to do it to raise money for Yandere Sim. And I find that her complete attack of Allie is really weird, because it reads as follows. Allie coached me into being exactly what he wanted, based on years of her online stalking along with a community dedicated to bringing him down. No one really is dedicated to bringing Yandere Dev down. We're more just walking away from him. It's kind of like a kid who keeps crying wolf. You just kind of give up listening after a while. No one's sitting here thinking it's, like some sort of FBI sting operation, that we're here to take him down like he's El Chapo or something. She used the same techniques that the FBI uses during sting operations. Again, he's not El Chapo. He's an indie game developer that has a very shady past and has brought forth a project that has taken hundreds of thousands of dollars from people with very to little room of improvement. God, you curate a specific environment, you build trust, you lure them in, and you take them down. Allie disrespected my wishes when I didn't want the video posted because it was an elaborate scheme to bring views back to her dead channel. Again, I don't know why you're attacking Allie. This is more of her trying to bring forth the evidence. I can't really speak on Allie because I don't know her personally, but it seems she's more trying to bring forth evidence that Yandere Dev is guilty of being these people in screenshots that we've seen before, of having very sexually explicit conversations with minors, and not ever noticing that it's wrong. But every person has their faults, but dedicating multiple videos to someone false shows her true colors. She is manipulative, hateful, and absolutely not a trustworthy source of news. Many of the audio clips were cut and put together to make him sound terrible, and they were conversations that weren't even real. Again, I've listened to the audio. It doesn't matter if you clip it, because it is still you, the child, Jane, having a sexually explicit conversation with Alex about his penis and starting an OnlyFans. That is a conversation a grown man should not be having with a 16-year-old. It doesn't matter if there's context or not, you still said those things, and he still never said that you shouldn't talk about that. Removing all context and putting things that sound extremely sexual towards a 16-year-old. Allie tricked people into believing he was a bad person to save her dying channel. I don't think that's it, Jane. I know you want to protect him because you just want this all to disappear, fly away under the rug, so that he could probably get back to his game. But in all honesty, there is nothing that could save him from this. All this does is prove how guilty he is. And in all the 15 minutes that he had for his apology before he privated and took down the video, he showed one photoshopped DM from Discord that didn't prove anything. And second of all, if you're going to bring evidence, don't bring forth fake evidence that proves how people are trying to manipulate you. You're trying to prove your innocence, not how cruel people can be. That's a whole different story. But in the end, I think this is just a huge calamitous downfall for Alex, and I don't see any way how he could possibly rebound after this. I do think his plan is to sit by and let the wildfire die out before he tries coming back and making another explanation for his behavior. Or he's working on one right now, and I just don't know it because I'm making this shortly after he took down his video. But all in all, look at everyone that's walked away from Alex. From people in the community, to people who've given him money, to people that have supported his Patreon, to voice actors, programmers, and voice actresses that all cheered him on, that all worked for him for free. He had great voice actors. He had great voice actresses, and he pissed it all away because he's not socially or mentally ready for any of this. I will say this, that Alex kind of does miss a lot of social cues because he's not playing with a full deck of cards socially. He does have some social anxiety and social misconceptions, but still that doesn't excuse the behavior and this absence of time between the incident of being exposed for these explicit conversations and now. I feel that this is just another giant pickaxe to Alex's career, and that it could be the very end of it all because Alex just can't defend himself from this. And I know there's always going to be people that will say, well, there's always going to be new people to join his community. And that's true. There's always going to be gullible fools who stumble upon Yandere Sim and don't realize the dark past of its creator or the dark past of the community and hell that we were put through. But I will say this. Alex can't keep ducking this forever, and the more you try to hide stuff, the more it comes to light. That's the Streisand effect, baby. I feel bad for everyone that has helped Alex so far, only to have this huge betrayal of his trust, and to have him be this kind of person in the end. But honestly, this was something that was a long time coming. It was only a matter of when. A lot of us saw the writing on the wall for who Alex was a long time ago, but no one actually ever believed us because, well, he's just a small indie game developer. If there's anything you should take away from this, it's that if you're an inspiring content creator or an inspiring Twitch streamer or inspiring personality on the internet, and you cater towards younger audiences, I get what you want with that audience. You want to be close to them and try to give them some transparency and make sure their voice is heard no matter what. But you always have to realize there's a line when it comes to all that, and you can't cross that line no matter how much you get pushed to do it. You, at the end of the day, have to be the mature one, and if they start having these conversations with you, you have to walk away from them. Because it'll be bad for you, it will be bad for them, and I know people will say that you're a bit of an a-hole because you walked away, but at the end of the day, it's the right thing to do. What's that old saying? The right thing to do is always the hardest one.